Alright, so I watched a movie recently called The Man Who Sued God. It is a solid recommendation. I picked it up completely randomly because I thought the name sounded stupid and I needed something to watch. It actually is a lot smarter than it might appear from the title. It's not about God as a religious concept, but about the insurance companies using it as a way to explain anything they don't want to pay for. This fact is what was getting sued. Of course, the religion was connected as well, but just not exactly what it says on the tin is the point. And I found it mildly fascinating. What did I enjoy? The main character is a loser who got nothing going for him, but turns out he's actually quite a capable lawyer. The switch from one to the other was amusing to witness. At one point he's drunk and falls over himself, and at another point he is arguing before a large audience and making a famous prosecutor and the CEO of a large insurance company look like a bunch of fools. Also, I like his accent. I know it's a small thing, but, most other people in the movie don't sound like him, so I'm thinking he's a little out of place, but hey, I just like the accent. Aside from that, the main supporting character was something. From her introduction to where she ended up, this journey was fun to witness. Although I do believe it was a little rushed, but I assume it is difficult to have it happen more fluidly, more realistically. Movie just couldn't be long enough for a more natural character development, and besides, it would make it more boring with all the padding. Oh well. Oh yeah, and at one point there's a very Russian man complaining about insurance. And the woman behind him says, "Svolochi," said flawlessly. This has been annoying as hell to me. Frequently people look at the foreign languages in movies and just read everything in an extremely unnatural way. Take the word I've just said. Svolochi is the way you say it. An English speaker, on the other hand, might see a transcription of it and say "Svolochi" or some other syllables added in, somehow. It makes it impossible to understand even as a fluent speaker because it doesn't even sound like the same language. Here, it felt like a native speaker. They had a native speaker to say this one word. I don't know if they just had that guy and that woman on standby or she trained to say it naturally, but I loved that moment regardless. I burst out laughing so hard when he translated it as "not nice people." It's technically correct. The best kind of correct. So what did I dislike? Well, the start is a little too mopey. I understand that the entire premise, the beginning as to why it happens, need to be shown, and it needs to be dramatic, but I believe that it's a little too low a point to start off on. What I'm trying to say is that I almost turned off the movie because it was more of a drama than a comedy than I've expected. Overall made the introduction of a pathetic main character miserable. A few more jokes or funny moments would have made it more palatable. Aside from that, there is the resolution. I think it was entirely unnecessary. So, spoiler. A window breaks and a cockatoo flies in, dramatically. "Oh, the God has shown himself, the folly of man. Rejoice, people, join your hands in prayer. The Lord has decided to grace us with his presence. Can I get an amen?" I cringe so hard at that. It doesn't spoil it too much at least, but that moment is just so out of place. Also the ending. "Oh, you got a fat check. Cool. All those people from the class action suit are still getting screwed though. Good on you getting a movie deal, but doesn't really seem like a happily ever after." Regardless, these were the relatively minor complaints, and I loved the movie in the end. Definite surprise when I expected something completely stupid and got a commentary on the insurance industry and the Australian law, of all things.